Hey everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of McCall Media TV Live, whereby in today's broadcast, I am going to be talking to you about my SEO keyword research tactics and strategies and some of the tools that I use to help narrow down and perfect the terms that I want to be ranked for and listed for with regards to my YouTube videos. Now, what I do want to point out just before we get into the main content of today's video is that this technique that I'm going to teach you today is mainly for registering my YouTube videos on YouTube or my video lives after they've gone live, registering them on YouTube so that they help them get found. But it is a strategy that if you want to adopt and tweak a little bit, you could perfect it for general blog article strategies as well. And it's always useful to know what your audience is wanting with regards to what is a current term being searched for in the internet. So before we get cracking, I'm just going to do my little intro and then we'll fire off. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen with you now. So I've got two screens going. And as you can see, I have navigated already to my YouTube channel here on my second screen. Now, you will see me looking slightly sideways because I've got the two screens going on at the same time. Now, what I want you to bear in mind, let me just go to TubeBuddy first of all. TubeBuddy is an independent, just a regular business, to be honest with you, that has focused and specialized in helping people with various different search tools and features and functionalities that plugs in through the browser to your YouTube channel. And in this case today, the aspect I'm looking at obviously is the SEO keyword research, whereby they do lots of other amazing things, and their pricing is really realistic as well. So I'm just going to quickly go to their pricing. Now, just to give you an idea, I'm going to guess that this is US dollars. Most things are. But I have paid, and it's like 40 or something quid for the year, £45 or something like that, to become a pro user. And you know, it's child's play peanuts kind of pricing, and it does label me at this kind of level to do all the things that I actually need to do right now. So it doesn't actually have to be an expensive tool, but I do suggest that you guys experiment and have a look. They do have a free version which you can learn more about down here and see what it gives you if you want to have a play first of all. Now, one of the things that I like about TubeBuddy is that when you have obviously got yourself set up with an account, you install a piece of software that connects into like Chrome, Firefox and so forth. So at the moment I'm in Firefox. That's generally the browser that I use for most of my life, shall we say that, in Chrome. So up here becomes a little like drop down quick menu, as it were, which we'll dive into in just a little bit. And like I said to you, they have lots and lots of different tools and features, but we're going to look at how I use their services today with regards to keyword research. Now, if you can see up in my search bar on YouTube already, I have pre-populated with the term Paid Membership Pro. Now, that is a piece of software that I use with regards to building my membership site for my upcoming member service that I'm going to be launching later on this summer. And I just thought it would be quite a nice term to bring it in relevant to you on how the searches go. So for example, if you can imagine later on, maybe next week, I do a whole video live learning about Paid Membership Pro. Obviously, I'm going to need to do some keyword research on what is the best SEO reference or phrase to be able to get found on YouTube using that tool. So the first thing I'm going to do, just real quick before I forget, is I am just going to quickly show you on screen at the bottom there. If you do decide that you want to sign up to if you do want to sign up to TubeBuddy, I'll get my words right, there is my affiliate link. I will put it in the description below this. And this one's a bit of a long one, but that is my Paid Membership Pro if you're also looking at getting some membership software. So how do I do my keyword research? So we're going to jump straight back on over here to my site. Now let's start by actually just running a search for the moment on that term. Now what happens is over on the right hand side, TubeBuddy, this little red icon and their like kind of toolbar opens up, and it gives me some quick stats on what essentially that term, that so in this sense it's 3 words, it's a name of an organization or a tool as it were, what that is basically performing. And this is where things start to get really meaty as it were. And I generally work with a spreadsheet, because you will find that you need to search on, I would say, somewhere in the region of at least 15 to 20 variations of this term now, adding on different words. Some of the search suggestions are coming up here to give you some food for thought, because you are generally, or the people watching my videos are generally small audience, small business owners, and we are in competition with established channels that have millions of followers and fans. So we have to do things in a slightly different way to bigger fish, shall we say, already established on the YouTube network. So I'm going to start by actually clicking over on the right hand side where it says the overall rating, and it says click here for weighted, and in brackets it says unweighted, and I'm going to explain what that means in just a moment. So whilst this populates, essentially essentially when you've got TubeBuddy plugged into your browser and you've set it up with your account, obviously it connects through to your YouTube channel and it gets the stats about who you are as a channel as well. And then it kind of does this cross comparison and a playoff against your stats, your performance, your channel's power and proness, as it were, against other people who are competitors in the industry. And this is where the stats and things start to get interesting, and which is why I always run this search through on an Excel spreadsheet, because the amount of data that you need to start analyzing can get quite overwhelming. You're never going to hold it in your head. So let's just give this an example. Now, if you remember when we was over on the actual page, it was in the yellow and it was unweighted. So let me just show you there. And it does give a little description. This is a decent amount of competition for this keyword. And it's also searched quite often, so it's worth targeting. Now, bear in mind that as a business, I have less than 200 followers at the moment on my YouTube channel, because it's early days for me. So what the weighted version does is then compares my power as a channel against the popularity of being listed and registered well on that paid membership pro term. And of course, if you look at that, because I'm not even a blip on the YouTube radar, essentially my actual power is 6 out of 100, which is pants, complete and utter pants. So I wouldn't even begin to think of using this term. Now, some of the other tips that I want to say while we're on this page and it's showing these stats is down here where it says the number of videos in search results. Now, what is encouraging to me right now is that this is showing 113,000 search results. So if you can imagine, this is every single video ever published on YouTube that has that term paid membership pro in existence. So 113,000 isn't actually a bad number. I personally always look for terms that have around or at least under 200,000. So that is actually quite encouraging. And then the monthly searches, but that's quite high. I am obviously, if there's going to be 31,000 searches in a month on that term, and I'm not even scoring 10, shall we say, on that radar, I'm never going to be found as a business using that search term. So this is when you need to start getting really smart about your keywords as a small business. Now, I'm just going to play, there are some suggestions over here going on. So let's just say, let's add in WordPress there, because this is a tool that gets added to WordPress to turn a WordPress website into a membership site where you can put in controlled features for the content that you deliver. Now, by adding that one word, let's look at the stats again. Now, I'm still up here on the weighted, and that is now saying that actually my channel, because I've already got other content on my channel that is using the word WordPress, that's weighted my channel power against being found on this search term a lot more proficiently. So I've jumped up from 6 to 30 out of 100, which is going completely in the right direction, but it's still quite weak. And if we look down here, what's actually happened is the number of videos in YouTube from the moment of history and time beginning, using those 4 words in that order, written in that way, is now only 14,000, which is good and is bad, because now it means that there is quite a small group of videos, which means it's highly niched, highly focused, which gives me a lot more power to be found, but there is less searches taking place. In fact, there isn't even enough data to show how many searches are taking place on any given month, which means there isn't enough traction for me to then want to put all my weight behind that keyword term. So there are lots of things that if you start to look and dive into that you can do. And this is where you then need to come up with like a sort of about 15 different versions, 20 different versions of the long tail keyword, and you just keep playing, because at some point you will strike gold on a winning formula. So this one's probably a little bit better for me, Paid Membership Pro site, whereby I've dropped down to 14, but I'm back to a video search pool, an entire pool of about 113 videos, 113k videos, I should say. Now, one of the things that I haven't said to you while I've been demonstrating this so far is looking at these other results here, things that can also add to your influence over a keyword search term whilst you're new and a small business, is to look at the results and how things are going. Now, this channel here has 8 out of 38 results, search terms. So for example, if you took this, basically, they've obviously been established for a very long time and they are a training channel. So the chances are they've got various different topics, videos and all sorts going on with regards to WordPress, with regards to Membership Pro and all the rest of it. So out of 38 possible keywords found on 38 different videos, what they have is 8 of those actually using that exact term. So we are up against some stiff competition. Obviously, if you look at me, I've got 0 videos published out of those 38 results, and obviously that's given me the total that we already knew of on the page before. Moving further along here, trending, that's not so always one, but historical is quite good. It doesn't have enough data. That's a bit of a pain. The reason I wanted to sort of show a summary there is that also sometimes when you're going in and you're going through a search, it will show you some of your actual competitor channels that you often see on the right hand side toolbar when you are searching or looking in it, and YouTube are providing suggestions, and those are ones are quite interesting to look for as well. So let me just try one other term just to see if I can bring something up and sort of strike gold on something. Let's think Paid Membership Pro. Oh, my mind's gone blank. Let me just, this is the problem when you do things live. Let's do a login page. Let's see what happens there. So if you can imagine you were building a website, you might want to have obviously the login page and you want to see what people have done. Now this is actually getting a little bit more interesting for me. Okay, so obviously now you've got to bear in mind that my video topic has actually got to talk about login pages with the Paid Membership Pro, so it is going quite niche. But again, if you look at the stats as what's going on, first of all, the unweighted was still up here in the yellow. My channel against this generally as a specific view back to 26, that's not too bad. We're looking at only 27,000 as a pool of videos that have ever been made on YouTube going back through its history. And obviously if you're looking at 230 searches, now if you want a niche focus, say you want to do something on a video topic that is really sort of fine-tuned, this is the kind of results that you're going to be looking for your keywords, because you are looking at a history of less than 30,000 videos ever being published using those 5 words as a keyword term. And if there's only 230 searches in a month, one of the things that I was just trying to show you is the history of the competitors having, and it's not showing here, or the results. Let me see if I can bring it up. Because what it also does is it basically says how old those videos are. Now, the older the videos are, even if there's only 230 search terms, the older that video is, the more power you are going to have because of getting searched. The reason being is because YouTube likes current and relevant and, you know, up-to-date content. So if you look through and you find that actually out of those 230 searches that are taking place on a monthly basis, there's only ever 30,000 or just under, it was about 27,000 videos ever created. And you look at the latest one compared to you being, and it's like maybe 18 months old. This is when you have just struck gold on an opportunity to get yourself found. Because even if you're only going to get 230 people right now as a small business, if you want 230 people knocking on your door, that's the kind of way that you get yourself focused on a niche. And that is how, as a small business, we kind of need to find little doors in to getting our foot in the door, shall we say, with YouTube and the research that goes on with regards to getting our channels found and our video content and all the rest of it. So that's just kind of a little inside pro tip there. I'm going to do one more search. Let's see if there's one more thing that I can come up with. Let's say Stripe, because obviously if you're going to sell a membership site, you're probably going to want to put a payment process in place, and Stripe is could have easily been PayPal or something, but that's going really niche focus. As you can see, over all history in YouTube, there's less than 2,000 videos, which is a very tiny number, which means you've got a high possibility of actually being found, but there's not even enough data for us to say how many people are searching on a monthly basis. Let's try PayPal and see how that would work. PayPal, just out of curiosity. Right, so a little bit more weighting again, less than 10,000, 240 searches a month. Again, if you wanted to go really niche focus and you wanted to do a YouTube video right now to be found that explained how to connect PayPal, for example, into your paid membership pro account, this is the search term you need to work on. But bear in mind that the traction on this video will be really slow because there isn't a volume of people searching that much on your content, but it will mean that you've got a higher probability of actually being registered because obviously your video is going live today, as it were, and using those terms. So it's current, it's fresh, and it's meaty content. So I hope that kind of, I could go on forever because I love TubeBuddy. I really do. I'm going to throw up my affiliate link one more time for you guys. So I could go on forever here, but I hope that kind of works as a strategy for you and that you kind of get the principle of what I've said. Now, if you want to dig a little bit deeper, there are lots of videos out there that have explained that. I've kind of generated those tactics that I've explained in today's video through my own SEO kind of playing and tinkering over the last few years, looking for pools of opportunity, fine-tuning what those numbers of people and opportunity should be. And it's just purely and utterly through playing, experimenting, and kind of keeping one eye, or I'm pointing to my ear, one ear on the ground, as it were, with regards to what other professional YouTubers are saying you should watch out for. So as a rule of thumb, if you want to get found, you're looking at pools of opportunity that are less than 200,000. You're looking at making sure that your weighted score is as high as possible. I mean, 20s is still really low. You're looking at least wanting to be in the 40s and 50s. But having said that, my industry is a very popular topic. I very rarely find any content that's up in the 40 and 50s, or opportunities, I should say. And that is basically how you kind of bring your search engine word terms together. And obviously then you've got to put it in your thumbnail images, you've got to say it on your descriptions, your titles, and laced all through your YouTube description, and all the settings that you can basically put in there, all your tags and so forth. So if you've got any questions, now is the time. Oh, I can see a couple of questions coming in, so bear with me just 1 second. I'm just going to flow these up now. Oh, no, I forgot to say, credit where credit was due. This was a question that Joe asked me off the back of one of my videos last week. So that was my reply to her on Facebook, and it just looks like she's actually in and tuned in right now and listening. So thank you very much, Joe. That's nice for you to have your support. Is there an equivalent to TubeBuddy for written content? To be honest with you, I don't know. But written content is even far more competitive because everybody does it. It's a lot easier than it is to produce a video. However, I probably would still go down the route of using the equivalent of TubeBuddy to have a look, because YouTube is owned by Google, and as a free tool, which they do have, there is a lot of information that they do give you. And I think it's probably worth you having a kind of a play with something like this to get an idea, and obviously then you can carry through those same sort of techniques onto your actual blog articles. But in my personal humble opinion, if you're going to put all of this effort, you might as well go the last step and do a video, because video is literally king at the moment as far as content marketing goes. And you're kind of like, you've taken yourself and your business all the way up to the finish line and literally haven't taken that last step over the line by not doing a video and just working on written content, in my humble personal opinion. Anyway, I'm going to take that off of there. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. If you are watching this on the replay, please put the word replay in the comments and I will dive in and answer any questions. I hope you found that one really useful. I am, as always, live pretty much daily at the moment across all my Facebook pages, Periscope, YouTube, and one day when the gods at LinkedIn decide that they're going to approve my application for live videos, they might even let me go live on LinkedIn as well. And if you do have any questions, if you do ask for Cool Media, the hashtag, or use it on social media, I've got Google Alert set up, which pings me a little email notification to say this is what you've done, and I will be able to go in and dive and find out about your question. So thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, stay notified. The easiest way to watch me is on my YouTube channel. And with that being said, oh, let's one more question. Joe says, I guess you need to be brave. Yes, yes, Joe. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and go for it, which is what I've done in the last couple of months myself. So thank you very much, everybody. With that, take care and I'll see you tomorrow.